participants to join. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to this webinar on Data Analytics Masterclass. And from whichever part of the world you are joining in, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let's start this webinar with 2 icebreaker questions. The first question with the icebreaker. Can we change the slide, sir? If you are getting a question on data predictions, if you could use data analytics to predict one personal thing about your future, what would it be? I'll repeat the question for you. If you could use data analytics to predict one personal thing in your life for future, what would that be? I request you all to answer your answers in the chat box. Type your answers, please. I repeat the question for you. If you could use data analytics to predict one personal thing in your life for future, what it would be? I can see many answers coming in: job, finance, health, financial stability. Very good, very good. So everyone got different choices. I could see many things coming up as health, finance, success, job stability. Good going. That's great. That's great. So finance and health is leading in this. I could see job, finance, stability from all part of the world. All similar answers are coming. That's great. That's great to understand. Good family. Yes, yes. We all have similar choices when it comes to future, when it comes, savings, finance, almost all. Somewhere I'm getting some questions related to the recording part. Those answers you will get in the chat box. Yeah, yes, family. Everyone is having 3 major answers getting. One is financial stability, health, and family and job. That's great to understand. Really great going. So almost all the panelists, all the attendees are answering this question. Thank you so much for all the answers. Let's move on with one more icebreaker question. After 2 icebreaker questions, we will be starting with our session for this afternoon. So you all can see and read the second icebreaker question. If you could travel to any time or place in the history together, data for analytics, where and when would you go and what data would you collect? So please answer this question also in the chat box. I repeat the question. If you could travel to any time or any place in the history, you want to go back to history, I request you will have to go back to history, not to the future this time. And many answers coming as Egypt. Okay, few people are not interested to go back. Okay. China. Okay. Many historical places names are coming. UK, Egypt are getting repeated somewhere. Israel, Canada, Switzerland, Egypt. I can see Uganda. That's great. That's great to get all your answers. That I could see the participants' active participation. That's great. So we also can assume that all these places you are basically from. So once again, I welcome you all to this session on Data Analytics Masterclass. From whichever part of the world you have joined in, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Yes, many different choices are coming this time. So that's great to understand. Africa, India, yes, Ghana. I also have a idea getting from whichever part of the world you have joined in for the webinar. That's great. That's great going. We have 846 attendees today. So I welcome you all to this session, interesting session on data analytics masterclass, crafting tomorrow's. So we will be talking about a lot of data and analytics here in this next 1 hour. Yeah, many people want to go to Singapore. Yeah, Zimbabwe. I can understand the crowd or the participants are from different level of understanding. Some people will be great with data analytics. Some people will be having technical knowledge on data analytics. Some will be beginners. So you all are going to gain some or the other knowledges today. So you all will be learning with us. That's great for all your answers. Thank you so much for all your answers. Now let's slowly start the session. As you all know, let's commence today's session with great enthusiasm and energy. I am Shanti Iyer, Senior Academic Associate at UniAthena, welcoming you all to this webinar on Data Analytics Masterclass, Crafting Tomorrow's Strategies. As data continues to grow in volume and complexity, data analytics remains a critical tool for unlocking valuable insights and driving innovation. I request all the participants to stay with us till the end of the session and avail a participation certificate from UniAthena. Those who are there till the end with us, interacting with us, will be getting a participation certificate emailed to you in your registered email ID. So now please allow me to introduce our panelist, Mr. Kiran Kumar, who is highly experienced professional in the field of finance, analytics, and fintech, based out of Bangalore, India. His professional reach extends beyond India, covering countries like Singapore, Japan, and Myanmar. With over 20 years of expertise, he has a rich background in banking sector and served as a faculty member at prestigious institutions such as IIM Kozhikode, BITS Pilani, Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, and the list goes on. He also holds multiple certifications such as CFA, CMA, and many more. It's an honor to extend a warm welcome to you, sir, for the webinar on Data Analytics Masterclass, Crafting Tomorrow's Strategies. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Professor Shanti Iyer, and also thank you, UniAthena, for this opportunity. And a big thank you and hello to the entire crowd who have shown enthusiasm in learning this very emerging topic, right? Whichever field you are in, okay, whether you are in finance, you are in marketing, you are in healthcare, you are in retail, whichever field you are in, data analytics, I think, is making ways into all of your lives. And I can understand that we are all looking forward to gather more knowledge. By Madam's introduction, you would have seen that I am not an analytics person by qualification, but in the last 10 years, I was forced to learn this because without this, I didn't see a method to survive in the business world. Correct? So today, there was a time period in the past in business world, the decisions were taken. We had leaders and managers across the world who have been taking decisions based on their gut feel, right? They were taking based on their gut feel, based on the intuition, right? But today, I don't think any business manager can even take a smaller decision, day-to-day level decision also. He is not taking on gut feel. He is using data, correct? Data-driven decision making is the buzzword in the market. Right? So data analytics, okay, let me register this point in your head, okay? Data-driven decision making. So of course, I also saw your responses for the poll that madam has just conducted about what do you want to predict using, what in future you want to predict if there was an opportunity using data analytics. And most of us talked about personal life, like I want to predict where my family life is going to, how my financial stability is going to be, how my career is going to be. I think you're very right. Okay, but eventually let me also put the scope of this particular session. We are going to be focusing more on the business decision making, and as a business, how data analytics is going to help various businesses. I'm going to keep it very common. All right. And one more small announcement to all of you, that the second icebreaker that you all went through, where madam asked if you could use data analytics to go back to the past. I'm sorry, we don't have time travel provision in data analytics, so don't expect that. Okay, but yeah, we are going to see how the past data is going to be definitely used. Okay, in predicting future. End of the day, analytics is meant to predict and prescribe your action points for the future. All right, and I will not be looking at your chats right now. Okay, my presentation will go in a certain flow which has been pre-decided, but towards the end, we will open it up for Q&A, and those time we would like to take few questions, and I'll try to keep as much time as possible available for your question and answer. So hold on to your questions and thoughts till we complete the session. I might go for around 1 hour 30 minutes max. All right, and anyways, let's without wasting much time, let us directly get into this. And I am not going to make an assumption that all of you know about data analytics, or am I not going to make any assumption that none of you know about data analytics? I'm going to assume that I'm talking to an average person who has understood, or rather has heard of the word data analytics. At the same time, you are not an expert in data analytics. I'm going to take that way. Okay, so to that average person I'm talking. So as you know, the crowd is huge here, and we do have people with a lot of experience also probably in the field, and maybe there are novices who are just in the enthusiasts who are just learning the data analytics. We have both kinds of crowds, and I'm sure both of you will have some to take away, okay, from this session. All right. I was thinking, what example that I can give you to tell you how data analytics has changed the way we are living our life. And I couldn't think of any other better example that could, match all of our lives. I'm sure all of you are using Netflix. If not Netflix, some other OTT platform, right? I'm sure all of us are using. And Netflix is one of the most successful OTT platform, as you all know. And one of the statement says there are 33 million versions of Netflix. This was given by the director of Netflix in one of the interviews. Now, this particular sentence has a lot for us to take away to understand what is data analytics. Okay, see, I'm sure you know that if you have a Netflix, you have, I think, 3 or 5 accounts that you can log in, right? Using Netflix, you can create 5 user profiles, and you can log into each one of them. I also have it at my home. I have one login. My son, who is 9-year-old, he has a login. Then my wife has one login. Then one of my friend also has. We have like 5, versions. I think that stopped now. That's a bad news. Anyways, so with these logins, what happens when I log into my, account, okay, my profile, I see, in fact, this is the kind of output that I see. For me, the kind of movie suggestions that come up would include things like Money Heist, for example, or I'm someone who watch a lot of these thrillers. I watch a lot of these geopolitical kind of movies, action movies, etc. When my son logs into the same Netflix, but he uses his profile to log in, he will see all of these. He's a very big fan of anime, okay, and he watches all these young romantic kind of stuff. And my wife, of course, watches all our Bollywood movies, etc. Okay, now this is how Netflix is saying they have a different version of each user. Now, how they have done that? Has a lot for us to understand about data analytics. Let's talk about that in a while. My topic today presentation is going to be presented with 4, I can say sub-modules. Okay, one, we will start to understand what is data analytics. Okay, then we will understand how the business decisions are getting more and more data driven. Then we'll also try to touch upon very important thing that you must know when we say data analytics, that itself has 3 different dimensions, 3 different perspectives in which you can look at it. So I'll try to tell you about that. And then how much ever time is remaining, I'll try to take you through as many examples as possible. Okay, I might show you some examples I can work in front of you and show you how the analytics work. Simple examples because we have the time constraint here. But at the end of the session, you would have understood what is data analytics. Okay, that is my ultimate agenda of this session. So now coming back to our Netflix, what does Netflix do? How is Netflix? See, one thing is sure that Netflix is one of the most successful, product or a company in that particular industry, right? Now, how one of the thing that they do, this is not something that I'm guessing. This is one of the famous case study of Netflix, where Netflix has come out and said how they use data analysis to change the movie watching experience. Okay, so let's see, Netflix analyzes your data that is being captured, including these kind of things. Like, for example, when do you pause, rewind, and fast forward? At that, which particular part you pause, rewind, and fast forward, that is being tracked. Okay, what day you watch the content, which of the days, weekdays, weekends, holidays. Okay, what time of the day, what dates you watch Netflix. Okay, where do you watch, what is your zip code, what is your location, right? And the device using which you watch Netflix, is it your mobile phone, or you are watching it through a smart TV, or you watching it through an iPad? Okay, how do you watch? Or is there a certain pattern that, okay, kids movies are being watched in, let's say, tablets, and maybe adults are watching them on TV? Okay, even those kind of data is being tracked. When do you pause and leave the content? I start watching a certain web series or a movie, I watch up to 2 episodes, and then I stop watching it. Okay, so that also is a feedback mechanism there, and the data is getting captured. The ratings given, okay, I don't know how many of you give, but I do give a rating after watching every movie. I give a rating. Okay, and they received around 4 million per day rating. Of course, the data is a slightly older one. This is, I think, as on 2019 or 20. Okay, I'm sure Netflix has changed a lot since then. But anyways, to understand the importance of data analytics, I think this makes sense. See, what you see here, the list that I have made, this is data for you. This is data. When we talk about data analytics, my first contention to you is you should understand and try to give a thought about understanding what is data. What is it that we are trying to analyze? See, we understand what is analysis. We analyze a lot of things in our life also, correct? What I want you to understand is what is data. So this is an example of a data. Okay, I will show you some more examples of data as we move along in the session. So this data has been captured, and what kind of analysis that they have done, or what kind of insights have they got by doing the analysis. See, for example, there is this web series that they've launched called House of Cards. Okay, House of Cards. Now, before launching this particular web series, okay, before suggesting this web series to, let's say, me, okay, I got this as a suggestion. Okay, maybe I may be interested in, because I watched another movie. Now, a lot of users before this, Netflix already knew that this particular user has watched, most probably, the David Fincher directed movie Social Network from beginning to end. That is, someone who watches Social Network as a movie, there is a high probability that he will watch a House of Cards also. Okay, I'm not really sure of the connection there, but the data must have suggested Netflix that suggest the House of Cards movie to those who watch the Social Network. See, that is analytics. That is an insight you're getting by doing analytics. Now, how to do is the data analytics. Okay, but what data analytics is doing is what I'm explaining to you. Yeah, and before watching this, there was actually a House of Cards version which was launched in, there's a British version of it. That means some user who is watching this, which is an American version, they've already watched a House of Cards of British version. So that means there is already a buy-in. So somebody who's already watched a British version of House of Cards has a high probability of watching the US version of House of Cards. Correct? Those who watched the British version of House of Cards also watched Kevin Spacey films. The character here, the protagonist who played this role. Okay, plus also the director, David Fincher is a director, so they've also watched that means this is giving me an idea. Okay, if somebody's watched House of Cards, okay, now next, if I suggest the same actors, few other products, okay, movies or web series, there's a high chance that the user will watch it. Similarly, if the same directors, other movies are disclosed, there is a high chances that the user will watch it. See, end of the day, what is the objective as a business for Netflix? They want to increase the watch minutes. They want more people to glue onto Netflix. Okay, they want us to watch as long as possible. That is the target, right? How do we make that happen? So data analytics comes to the rescue. All right. So a very successful case study, Netflix. It is available on Google. It's not that I have done this. It's available on Google. If you search for this particular case study, you will find a lot more insights. All right. So this is basically one of the example that I wanted to talk to you about. Okay.
Participants, yeah. So you can take a 2 minutes rest, sir. So hello, participants. We are coming up with a poll. So I request all of you to read the question from the screen and poll it from your end. We will have 1 minute's time to poll. So come on, your eyes on the screen. I will read out the question for you. Primary data analytics objectives. You are given with single choice. You have predictive analytics, customer segmentation, anomaly detection, and optimization. Please enter your choice for the first question. You will have only single choice. Yes, come on, come on. The poll is going to come to an end, so please enter your choice. Now I'm going to ending the poll. You have one more question, united question. So you can ask choice 1 or choice 2. The question is not visible. So go ahead with the question 1. Come on, we will be ending the poll soon. Not in the chat box. Please enter in the poll and select your answers in the poll. I repeat the question for you. Primary data analytics objectives. 4 choices are given for you to select one among them. Please proceed with your poll. Yes, come on. I can see the results now. The answers for the first question, primary data analytics, we are having 66% people saying predictive analytics, 21% customer segmentation, and 11% optimization. This is the answer we got for your question 1. So just wait for the next poll, those who missed this time poll. So we will be totally having 4 polls in this session, during this session. So please be alert and interactive with us during the session. Thank you, sir. You can continue with the next.
Very interesting. Okay. So let me take over. Okay, after a commercial break, I can say. Okay, let us now go ahead with this. Okay, now what is data analytics? In a simple way, we can put data analytics in this particular diagram. There is a lot of data available. Okay, in today's world, one thing that all of us agree is there's a lot of data available. Correct. At any point of time. For example, wherever you're seated now, you're connected to internet, right? Either your mobile or your laptop. Okay. Now there is some particular source which is capturing the data about your location. Correct. Right now I'm sitting here. Okay, I'm sitting in Bangalore. My location is being captured. That is a data. Okay, my mobile has various apps that will capture my location data on an ongoing basis. Okay, I'm not talking from data privacy, data secret. I'm not talking from that angle. I'm saying from the business point of view, a lot of these business models coming through apps and platforms, they're capturing data about us. Whenever we purchased any e-commerce product, for instance, correct? So there is a data that is getting created. Just imagine whichever e-commerce company is very active in your country. In India, for example, Amazon is one of the most widely popularly used e-commerce company. Now, in the last 20 minutes that we have been talking, if I just can think of the number of purchases that would have been made in Amazon, or even why purchases, even browsing for a certain product is also data. correct? I just open my Amazon website, sorry, the app, and I search for, let's say, I want a laptop mouse. Okay, search for it. That is a data. Okay, this particular person is wanting a. Now that, of course, later they will use it for cross-selling, third-party selling products, etc. But there is a lot of data that is getting generated. Now there are these tools and techniques that are, an analytics professional will know. Okay, these tools and techniques, which I'll be talking to you in a while now, various tools and techniques will be employed on that data, which will result in what we call as business insights. Okay, because the focus of this session is getting business insights, right? We're talking about business strategy and all that. So I'm using the word business insight. It could as well be related with any other field also. For example, in healthcare also, data analytics is used. Correct. In healthcare, when that data analytics is today used to detect the rarest of the rare type of the cancer, which is increasing the, see, in healthcare, diagnosing the right, problem, right illness is half the problem solved. Okay. Most of the, let's say, for example, cancer deaths used to happen few years ago or even a decade ago was mostly because you were not able to determine what treatment to be given, because we don't know what is the kind of cancer, what is the type of cancer this person has. Correct. With today's data analytics, let me bring in the words like artificial intelligence and machine learning. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me bring in the words like artificial intelligence and machine learning. With these kind of advanced techniques, tools and techniques that have come up, now today, the healthcare industry is able to detect the rarest of the rarest cancer and give the right treatment, and they're able to. So basically, what are you using? You're using the observed health variables as the data. There are machine learning tools and techniques that are being employed, and you're getting the insights about the illness, insight about the health. Okay, so this framework must tell you that, okay, there is a data, tools and techniques which give you insights. Because our focus is here about business data analytics, I'm using the word business here, right? Hope that kind of clarifies to you what is data analytics in a very, very easier manner for you to understand. Okay, where is the data analytics that you can come across? I just made some very simple list here, but there is no limit to this list. It's not an exhaustive list. I just thought whichever data analytics application that I found in different industries, different business houses, I just made a list of them. For example, in banking and financial services, okay, credit card frauds, for example, or any kind of a payment, digital. Nowadays we are using a lot of digital payments, right? So there are a lot of fraudulent transactions that end up happening. Now, data analytics can be used to detect whether a certain transaction will be a fraudulent transaction or not. See, today what happens when you use a credit card? Okay, credit card, you swipe the credit card, right? You swipe a credit card and the approval comes to you. It is said that within an average of 8 seconds. Now, assuming it is a fraudulent transaction, let's say I'm doing a fraudulent credit card transaction. I kind of skimmed the card and I'm using it illegally, for instance. I'm swiping it. In 8 seconds, the machine is approving the transaction, and then only customer will receive a message or customer will see his statement. Then the customer will realize it's not a transaction done by him. Then he will report to the credit card company. Then credit card company will do an investigation, stop the payment to the merchant. See, this whole process is more of a responsive process. Do you agree? You're basically reacting to a crisis. Correct? But today with the data analytics, that 8 seconds, now you can build a machine learning model or a data analytical model and program that in your whatever that approval engine that you have. Okay, that approval engine can capture all the variables, for example, including your credit card limit, your location of your credit card, the time of your credit card usage, maybe the recency of the transaction, frequency of the transaction, the monetary amount of the transaction. Just imagine, for example, I have not used my credit card ever before for, let's say, for an amount of, let's say, $500. All my transactions of credit card have been in the range of, let's say, $10 to $50. Let's assume that. Suddenly there is a swipe of $100. Now that is a potential fraud. That is an anomaly. Correct? Now within this 8 seconds, my data analytic model can determine whether it's a fraudulent transaction or not and reject the particular transaction. Okay, it can reject the particular transaction. So that is what I mean, the use of data analytics in credit card fraud. Similarly, just an example I'm giving you. Similarly, in manufacturing, production, industry, manufacturing industry, you can use data analytics to efficiently manage your inventory, manage your purchases, purchase planning, production planning, layout planning, location planning, whatnot. All right, we have seen data analytics application in the retail in terms of product recommendations. I'm sure all of you know. Like for example, just a while ago I said I go to Amazon app and I search for, let's say, mouse. Okay, after that, for the next few days, wherever I go, I'll only keep seeing the garland of mouse only, right? Wherever I go, whichever website I visit, I'll only keep getting recommendation of mouses, right? All right, so that's also another use case of data analytics. Pharmaceutical, drug development, okay, tourism uses data analytics to manage their bookings. Okay, understand the consumer behavior. I don't know if you have booked a flight ticket in the recent past. Whichever app you have used, go to that, you book a flight ticket, you can see that there are a lot of suggestions that come around it about, let's say, a travel insurance plan, maybe towards a cab that is booked at the destination, a hotel suggestion, right? See, data analytics is an action there. Okay, airlines and hospitalities, they're also using airlines, the pricing, for example, as you know, the pricing will depend on the demand for a certain flight, right? So dynamic pricing, data analytics plays a major role there. In the sports, game strategy, ticket pricing, in marketing agencies also, data analytics are used for digital marketing, social media marketing, etc. So I mean, as I told you, this is just it's a simple list. Okay, there are much more applications of it that you can see, much more serious applications also. Okay, because I'm focusing on business, I just made list of the industries here. All right, in addition to this, you have data analytics is being used in, as I told you, healthcare. It's used in e-governance. Data analytics is also used in scientific field. Okay, so many applications are there. Now there's a lot of buzz around data analytics. Okay, you would have come across all these words. You type about data analytics, you'll find a lot of words about data analytics. Like you have data science. There is something called data science, big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, data designing, data preparation, data manipulation, business intelligence, okay, whatnot. There are hundreds of words. Now, I mean, should I be really worried about all these things right now? My answer is no. Do not try to read too much into the jargons. Okay, right now, I'm assuming you're a beginner, so I'm telling you, because these jargons might confuse you. Okay, we don't have to really understand. We can just focus on data analytics for now. Okay, but having said that, I definitely want you to know the difference between data analytics, data science, and business intelligence. All right. Now, see, the difference between, let's say, physics and engineering, right? What is physics? Physics is a pure science, right? Physics is a pure science. Whereas engineering is an application of physics. Agreed? Engineering is an application. Physics is a pure science, whereas engineering an application. So I would put data science as a pure science, whereas data analytics is an application. Okay. So when I say pure science, data science is going to come out with what kind of questions you should be asking. That is what is data science is going to tell you. Whereas data analytics is going to tell you how to answer these questions. How to answer these questions. Are you with me? So data science is exploratory in nature. It is trying to explore. It is trying to explore something that is unknown yet. That is what data scientists do. What does a statistician do, for example? Okay, a pure statistician is trying to come out with the different statistical models, right? Whereas data analytics is an application. Okay, whatever data science has come out with, now as an analytics person, I will use that, try to solve the real world problems. Correct? So that is the difference between the words data science and data analytics. As you know, data science is more macro in nature. Data analytics is more specific in nature. Okay, so this is one difference. I hope you understood data analytics and data science. Now move on to business intelligence. Now see, business intelligence, as the word says, it is more about business. Okay, as I told you, data analytics is I'm now comparing only data analytics with the business intelligence. Now, data analytics is more, it is more generic in nature. As we already discussed, data analytics is applicable wherever there is data, whichever data. Okay, you live in a community, that community residents data is also data. Or in this classroom, if I collect the age of all of you, okay, I'll just launch a Google form and ask you to fill the age of all of you, that is also data, correct? Whereas business intelligence primarily deals with business data. Business data. Okay, this answers primarily the questions that are required from the point of view of the business problems. All right. So just to one of the primary application that you'll see of business intelligence are dashboards that we get created. What I want to do is I want to show you an example of a dashboard. Okay, probably that will give you some thought process. Let me open an Excel file, and madam, do let me know if my file I'm going to open, you are able to see. Okay.
Yeah, I will let you know.
So I wanted to open the file. Superstore. Yeah.
Yeah, we are able to see Excel.
Yes,
opening.
yes, ma'am. Yes, I know. Students, I want you to just take a disclaimer from my side. In this session, I'm not trying to teach you Excel or Python or any other tool. Okay, that is not the objective. Okay, what I believe, or even UniAthena also, we believe is, see, more than explaining something, if we show, you will be able to better understand. Okay, let's say, how does a tiger look like? I can make 100 slides to explain to you how a tiger look like. Instead of that, if I just put a picture of tiger and tell you, you will understand. So what I'm doing right now is exactly that. I'm not trying to show you or how to do this. Instead, I'm trying to show you how it looks. All right. Now, this is one of the example of business intelligence or dashboard. Okay, just as an example, I'm going to give. See, we were talking about data, right? Okay, let me show you what is data. This is an example of a data. This is the data of a superstore, which is basically a retail store. Of course, it's not a real data, so it's not copyrighted or anything. It's available in public forum. Now, this is a data of a retail supermarket chain in United States. Okay. Now, what we have here, if you see, I'm sorry, let me zoom it a little bit. What do we have here? There are transactions. Okay. How many transactions are there? I can see that there are nearly 10,000 transactions data, big data, 10,000 transactions. So that means somebody ordered something, that order is captured, probably from that ERP software, and this data is being presented to you. So what do you see here? You see the order ID number, order date. Okay. You have the ship date, that is shipping date, shipping mode. How did you send? Did you send by standard shipping, second class shipping, etc., etc. Customer ID. Okay. Customer name is also there. Okay. Customer segment. See, customer could be a consumer segment, home office segment, etc. That is their corporate consumer. That is this business's classification. Then the country, city, state, postal code, region. Okay. Product ID, category, subcategory, product name. What is the sales amount? How many units were sold? What is the discount given? What is the profit that the company made in each of the transactions? See, this is the data that we have. Okay, got it? Now, by looking at this data, are we able to make any sense out of it? If I ask you, tell me in which city have I done the highest sales? Okay, or in which product category? For example, how many product categories are there? Let me see. See, they have 3 product categories. They have furniture, they have office supplies, and they have technology. These are the 3 product categories. Now, I want to know in which category have they done the highest sales? Okay. Of course, we can still filter it, delete the columns, and I can still get the total. But more than that, is there a better, easier way to do that? Similarly, probably I want to know in which region the performance is better, or maybe in which segment, consumer, corporate, or home office, do we see the highest sales, or which are the top 10 sales, etc., etc. Now, these are the kind of questions that I'm having, right? Now, if I come here, okay, see what have we done here? There is a sales in the last year, latest year, sales in the last year. See, you get a total here. $7,33,215 is the sales, the total sales in the latest year. Total sales in the latest year. Sales of the last year is 6,09,000. So therefore, the sales have grown by 20%. Now, see, this is also analytics. See, what have you done? You had a huge set of data. You concise that into one number, 20.4%. Correct? Now, okay, fine. This is total. Now, I want to know in the furniture segment, what is the sales growth? Let me click this. I clicked it. It says my furniture segment sales growth is 8.3%. Or in office supplies, the growth has been 33%. Technology has grown at 20%. So you know who is the underperformer here? Correct? Furniture is growing at a lesser percentage. See, you're able to customize and view, right? This is business intelligence. Just keeping this dashboard, you can take so many business decisions. Okay, here also you can see which are the states with the highest number. Top 10 is there. Okay, if you click bottom 10 club. Again, furniture, in which state is the sales less, or office supplies, technology. Okay, which category? See, again, as I'm telling you, the idea is not to kind of tell you how to do this. Okay, idea is, see, this is a dashboard for you. In fact, it is one of the simplest dashboard. But what is happening here? You have a data. You use the tool like Excel. Use the technique like data dashboard preparation. You use something like formulas, functions, data validation, graphs, pivot tables, etc. You use those techniques, and you're able to present the data in a different format, which is giving us some kind of insights into the business. Right now, this is business intelligence. Now, is it not data analytics? Yes, it is data analytics, but business intelligence is more a subfield of a data analytics. I would like to put it that. All right. So one more thing that you need to know about data analytics when you talk about data analytics is, see, data analytics is a combination of statistics and modeling and optimization techniques used in operation research, okay, field, and then business intelligence, like what we just saw, business knowledge, business understanding, etc. So it is a kind of a culmination. That is where data analytics will fit in. In fact, you can also say data analytics captures the entire thing. Okay, you can also say data analytics is also statistics. Data analytics is also business intelligence. Data analytics is also modeling and optimization. So if I'm saying this, then I'm confusing you more. Why are we, saying everything is data analytics? Let me tell you what differentiates what you're doing with data analytics. Sometimes you're doing statistics with data analytics. For example, let's say, for instance, I want to know the average height of the students who are joining this webinar. Now, there I will use a statistical technique, right? I'll use mean calculation, correct? Or let's say when Netflix computed the correlation between somebody who watched a social network will definitely watch a House of Cards. That correlation is a statistical test, right? So there you're using statistics to do data analytics. Or we just saw the dashboard, right? Now, when you use the dashboard, okay, you're basically you're doing business intelligence. Okay. Similarly, there are some production planning that you do. Okay. Like for example, you want to optimize, the transportation cost between, let's say, your godown and your factory and your godown, and from godown to your distribution center. Now, which is the best route that we can take? Which is the best transportation? Supply chain kind of problems. So where you'll be using modeling and optimization. So again, when we say data analytics, you're doing statistics also, you're doing business. So it depends on what kind of question you're asking. What is your question? What is it that you want to gain insight about? That is what is data analytics. Correct? So I always keep saying this particular analogy. Okay, I don't know how it makes sense to you now. Just listen to me. It is a very old, small story. There are 5 blind men, okay, who walk into a forest. They have never seen an elephant in their life, but they have heard of elephant. Okay, so blind men, 5 of them, they walk into the forest and they stumble upon the elephant. They just stumble upon an elephant. By the sound of the elephant, they know that it's an elephant, but they never knew how an elephant will look like. Okay, so each one is touching one part of the elephant. Okay, so somebody is touching the leg, somebody is touching the ear of the elephant, somebody is touching the trunk of the elephant, somebody is touching the tummy of the elephant, right? Someone is touching maybe the tail of the elephant. So they do that, and then in the evening when they're sitting and talking, they were all saying, "Oh, we saw this big elephant. Okay, very happy today. We've heard of elephant. Let me tell you how huge it was. It was like a very huge ball." The guy who's touched the elephant at the tummy, he thinks the elephant is a ball. It's in the shape of a ball. And somebody said, "What did you say, ball?" "No, elephant is like a pillar." There's somebody who touched the leg, he says pillar. So like that they go on. Someone says it is more like a snake. Okay, so who touched the tail of the elephant? So each one has his own perspective of the elephant, right? So that way, data analytics also has a perspective. Okay, because I come from the business and finance background. For me, data analytics is more about business intelligence, business analytics, etc. Of course, a production person, an engineer, an industrial engineer, for example, he will look at data analytics to be of help to him because it helps him to optimize the data, right? He is trying to optimize the raw material consumption. He's trying to optimize the labor time available, etc. Right? Similarly, somebody who's doing a research, someone who comes from consumer research background or someone who does a survey, he will use a lot of statistics to know the, let's say, demography of the population, etc. So he looks at data analytics as a statistics. That's why I said, when you want to understand data analytics, you need to understand it from the perspective of the question you are asking. Okay, nobody in this world will know data analytics in full. Okay, because he will know what is applicable for him. I know the data analytics that is required for me to do my work. What is my work? I consult businesses. I do some forecasting predictions using financial numbers, etc. That is where I come from, right? So I know the data analytics that is required for that. If you ask me whether I know production planning, no, I don't know. Why I don't know? Because that is not my field. Correct. Similarly, a production manager or a production planner, for example, he may not know business intelligence or statistics. Okay, he's more learning data analytics from this point of view. All right. Hope I kind of put the context in your head about data analytics. All right. So with that, let us move on to understanding the three types of data analytics that I've been talking about. All right. So give your full attention. Meanwhile, madam, is everything clear? I'm not looking at the chat. So can I continue? Professor Swati?
So here we can go ahead with the poll so that you can come back to this slide later.
Sure. So
please you can take 2 minutes break with that.
No problem. Yeah.
The examples that you are giving are wonderful, and I think all the people attending this session will be able to understand this thoroughly. What is data analytics? So that's great, sir. Yeah. You can take 2 minutes rest. Yeah.
Sure, please.
So participants, here we are with the second poll, and I hope you all can read the poll. Is your organization using data analytics to support sustainability initiatives? So with this poll, I expect you all to answer, because I could see there are 1,300 people or 1,300 people attending this webinar. So it's a huge number. So we are giving you 2 to 3 minutes for all of you to answer this poll. So I expect all your answers in huge numbers. So I'll read out the poll for you. I expect you to please poll in the option given. Is your organization using data analytics to support sustainability initiatives? You can press yes, no, or considering it. These are the three options given to you. So I expect all of you to answer this poll. So here is the result of the poll. I am announcing, out of these many huge numbers, 61% of people has answered yes, they are using data analytics in their organization. 11%, that is 90 numbers only, are saying no, they are not using data analytics for in their organization. And 27% of people are answering considering to use in their organization. So I think this is the answer from our attendees. You may take it forward, sir.
Okay, great. All right, so let's move on now to the types of data analytics. Okay, another perspective that I want to leave in your head. See, again, when we look at data analytics, there are three types of data analytics that we always say. Basically here, how I have categorized, or how, and not me, but in general, you open any textbook on data analytics, that's how they categorize. How they have done is again, as I told you, right, what kind of question you are answering, what kind of answer are you seeking? Based on that, I can tell you what analytics you are using. Okay. For instance, when you want to just understand the let's say the past data. Okay. Okay, for instance, for example, let's say I'll conduct a quiz for all of you. Let's say I conduct a quiz for all of you for, let's say, 100 marks. Okay. Now there are like 1,000 students, 1,200 students here. You all take the quiz. Now I want to know how all of you performed in the quiz. Correct. So what will I do? I will calculate an average marks for that. Correct. Now, when you calculate that average, when you calculate, let's say, a median value, median marks that the student have scored, what is the minimum some students have scored? What is the maximum you have scored? How many students have scored more than 80 marks? How many students have scored less than 40 marks? You know, when I ask these questions, what am I trying to understand? I'm trying to understand a quiz happened. Now, what happened in the quiz? Correct. I'm trying to understand an existing phenomena. So when I apply data analytic tools to understand an existing phenomena, that is descriptive analytics. You with me? Okay. Moving on, the second category is predictive analytics. So when I say predictive analytics, what I'm doing is I am trying to predict the next thing that might happen based on the past data. Correct? Say, for example, I have given a quiz to you and I have some results I've obtained. Now let us imagine that I will give another quiz to you, that is quiz number 2. Now using the first quiz results, okay, if I'm able to predict what might be the average score of all of you, the second quiz, okay, that is predictive analytics. That means I'm trying to understand the pattern from the first quiz and then trying to give a second quiz, and I'm trying to think now, before the quiz happens, I'm trying to think, okay, if I give a second quiz, how much these students might most probably score. Now that is a predictive analytics. All right. In fact, most of you would have heard of this word, machine learning a lot, right? Now, machine learning is a predictive analytic tool. Okay. What your Google search, when you put it in Google search, when you're searching for something, correct, it starts predicting, right? We can do that. Let's search something in Google. Okay. How to, I just typed how to. Okay, it is suggesting me, leave the first few, they are the ones which I would have searched, but how to I don't know, go. Okay, see, how to go to next line in Excel. See, again, it is using machine learning. Let me tell you, if you open your browser and you type how to go, it will give a different suggestions. These are, for example, Excel is something that I will generally search for, ChatGPT, WhatsApp web, etc. These are related to me. I can see that most of them are related to me. Correct. So similarly, you will get something else. So that what is Google doing? Google has looked at my past pattern of search. Then it is trying to tell me this is what you're trying to do. Correct. Google Map is another classic example. Any day morning, when I open Google Map, it will most probably suggest an institution name or a college name or a particular location where I need to go. It is suggesting, it is thinking that, okay, this guy is taking out his car, so most probably he want to drive. So it is suggesting. Now, what is it doing? It is using my past data and trying to tell me what might be there in future. Correct? That is what I mean when I say predictive analytics. All right. So, sorry, why this is getting zoomed, I don't know. I'm sorry. Okay. So basically, what does predictive analytic techniques will tell you? They will tell you, or when you want to ask a question like, what will happen? What will happen? You need to look at predictive analytics. All right. Then move on to the prescriptive analytics. In prescriptive analytics, I want to know, I will use this tool to know what should I do? What is the right course of action that I can take? I have these two alternatives. Which one is the best one? So for that, I want to use analytics. So that is prescriptive analytics. So it is not just predicting, it is telling you which is the best one. Correct? So that is prescriptive analytics for you. How to make it happen. Correct? How to make it happen. What is the best course of action that I can take? That is prescriptive analytics. Like, for example, when I told you credit card fraud detection, it is telling that this transaction is most probably a fraudulent transaction. Don't allow the transaction. It is predicting as well as prescribing me to do something. Correct? What should be the ideal production plan in a production management, I'm saying. Correct? That is prescriptive analytics. Let us do one thing. We'll go through a very simple example that all of us will understand. Okay? I'll take a simple example and I'll try to explain that. Okay? Let's see. Let us take... okay. 1 second. It's a very, very simple example of, of some simple data that I've created. Let me tell you how I'm going to do analytics here. Again, I'm not trying to teach you analytics here. As I told you, I'm showing you what is analytics, a very basic version of analytics. So what do we have here? We have a bank, okay, whose deposits collected, which is basically one of the revenue for them, right? So deposits collected. So deposits collected is given. Okay, this is your one variable. Now, for the last 18 months, the advertisement spending, this is basically how much they spent on advertisement. Advertisement spending, what they've spent is given here. Then this is the interest given, extra interest given. I'll use the simple words for you, compared to the competitor. So, for example, if you take January, in the month of January, this company has spent around $4,927 rupees, whatever currency you can apply. Okay, $4,927 on advertisement in that particular month, some kind of a digital marketing that they've done. They have also offered 10 basis points. That is, for example, if the competitor is giving an interest rate of 5%, this company or this bank has given an interest rate of 5.10%. That's what 10 means. Okay, so you are giving 10 basis points of extra interest. Now you receive so much of deposit. Now my question is this. Now one of the questions that I want to ask is, what is the average amount of deposits in a month? Okay. Now, what kind of analytics question I'm asking here? I am asking analytics question about the descriptive analytics, correct? So what do I do? So I'll take a simple average of this. Maybe I'll just take an average of this. Okay, this will do the job. See, so the average deposit amount has been around 14,59,635. Okay, or I may also ask question like this. What is the standard deviation? What is the range, you can say? Okay, range of the deposits. Okay, range of the deposits. So how do you know that? Basically, I want to know what has been the maximum, what has been the minimum. Okay, so maximum has been, say, for example, of course, here we only have 18 observations, easy to calculate. Okay, so apparently maximum is this, minimum is maybe this one. Okay, 7 lakhs. So see, what is the range? The range is max to min. So that means the minimum and maximum is 7 lakhs and 24 lakhs. Okay, that means there is a range of 17 lakhs between them. That is a huge range, right? So that means it can vary anywhere. Correct? Some month you may want, for example, if I want to know what happens in June, it might probably be around 7 lakhs, or it could be go up to 25 lakhs. Correct? See, I'm trying to explain what happened in the last 18 months. So descriptive analytics. Clear? Makes sense? Descriptive analytics. Now let us talk about something else. Let's talk about something else. Let me ask another question. Okay. 1 second. Let us move this up. Pardon my spellings in whatever I'm writing. Okay. I'm not slow. I'm going a little faster, so I'm not working on that. So predictive. Okay. Let us try to work on predictive analytics. Now, what is the simple question? What is the expected deposits? What is the expected deposits? Let me write the question like this. The company is planning to spend, let's say $5,000 on advertising, okay, and give 10 basis points extra interest than the competitor. So this is what the company is planning. Company's budget is for the month of July. They want to give 5,000, spend. They want to spend on advertisement. Then they also want to give 10 basis points extra. Now, can you tell me how much will be the deposit? This is the question we are asking. Can we figure out a way in where we can predict it? So how do you predict it? Now I have the past data here. There is a pattern. Whenever, for example, you can see, I don't know, just as a naked eye, I'm just trying to look at this. Whenever the company has spent more on advertisement, okay, and also given high basis points, okay, is that a trend? Can we look at that? maybe somewhere here also. Okay, can you see? Then your deposits have also been high. Whenever the company has spent less on advertisements and also given less interest, deposit amounts have been lower. Correct? See, there is a pattern, right? Of course, I am just looking at one or two observations, but there is a statistical technique called regression. Using the regression, you will be able to predict. Okay, what you can do is you can do something like this. Use a function called trend. Okay, trend. And 1 second. Let's not do this. I'm not sure if I can do this. Let's do it like this. Let me write an equation for this. Okay, it only takes a minute for me, or even better, we will use an analysis tool pack. Okay, this is a tool pack that is available that will help me do the job. Okay, I want to do regression. Okay, where is regression? Regression is here. Okay, let me give the Y range. Y is my deposits. Okay, my X range. X is these two. Okay, labels, yes. Okay, see, let me get the answer here. Maybe we'll get the answer here. And okay, see, it took exactly maybe like less than 2 seconds. Okay, now see, this is what I'm interested. Okay, this is what I'm interested. So I will write an equation like this. So in this case, my equation is going to be 7,16,434 plus 107.68 multiplied by the advertisement spending, okay, plus 25,010 point, or I'll just say 11 multiplied by the basis points. Okay, now in this case, what I want to do is, let me take this 7,16,000 plus 5,000 I want to spend on advertisement. So what does my model tell me, my predictive model? It is telling me that every $1 you spend extra on advertisement, your deposits will go up by $107. That's what is the meaning of this. So if I'm spending $5,000, my advertisement spending will go by 5,000 times 107. Similarly, plus 10 basis points multiplied by. So every 1 extra basis point interest you gave, your deposit amount, total deposit amount will go up by 25,000. Okay, put this amount, multiply. So my prediction is 15,04,945. That is the amount that I'm trying to predict. Correct? See, what have we done now? We had a past data. We built a model using the past data. Using that model, I'm able to predict. Now you tell me any number. You tell me, no, I want to increase the advertisement spending to 10,000 rupees. Okay. And I want to give 20 basis points. Fine. Go ahead. Then if you are able to do that, your expected deposit amount could be 22,93,000. See, now I know the relationship between my target variable and the influencing variables. See, what you're missing here is probably what we're not discussing is how did I get these variables? Why did I decide on these two? There could be 100 other variables that might decide the deposits. Correct? So that is a challenge. That is the data analyst challenge. But I'm talking to you about a tool and a technique. Correct? So this is predictive analytics for you. Now let us look at prescriptive analytics for you. Prescriptive. Let's say a company is considering the two options. Considering two options. No, let's put it this way. Let's say company wants to achieve a deposit amount of let's say dollar. They want to like hit it the roof, so they want to make it 3 million. They want to hit a deposit amount of 3 million. Okay, how much should be the advertisement spending and extra interest? Okay, so I want my model, data analytical model, to tell me if I want 3 million here, how much should be the spending amount that I should do. Correct? Maybe we can put some constraints saying that we cannot spend. I can say constraint. Okay, the advertisement spending, okay, has to be less than say for example 20,000. You cannot go beyond 20,000. Okay, and there is no constraint on the interest rate. Okay, let's assume there is no constraint on the interest rate. Let us see if the model can do that. Okay, for this we use something called optimization. Let me try that. Okay, let me try that. I'll take data. There is a tool called solver. Okay, there's a tool called solver in Excel. Take the solver. Now what do I want to do? I want to achieve in this particular cell in Excel, I want to have a value of 3 million. I want to have a value of 3 million. By changing the variable cells, these two, I want Excel to rework. I want the solver tool to rework on these two variables in such a way that it will give me 33 million here. Okay, but I have a constraint. What is the constraint? The constraint is this particular cell cannot be more than 20,000. That is the only constraint I have. Okay, now interest rate can be negative. Let's put it that way. Let me say if it can solve the problem. Excel found a solution. What is Excel suggesting me? The best suggestion for you is 15,397 you spend on advertisement and give a 25 basis points extra interest. Okay, that will result in a deposit amount of 30 lakhs. See how interesting it is. It is prescribing me. It is giving me a direction. Okay, you know what? My target is 30 million, 3 million. So then what should I spend on advertisement? What should be the extra interest I should give? You can see this. Correct. Now see, I've used a lot of these Excel functions. I've used some techniques like regression, etc. Of course, those who want to study data analytics, you will have to master all these things. The kind of ease that I went through, I'm sure you also need to go through. Please understand the objective of this session. I'm not trying to teach you. Then I would have done only this for the entire 2 hours. Correct. So here the objective is to show you how you can ask a right question. And there are tools available, like see max, min, range, average. These are tools available. Correct. Or even the regression that I did here, or even the solver that I used. These are the tools available. Depending on what question you ask, you use the right tool, you get your answer and run your business. See, remember what is the word I told you? Data-driven decision making. Now see my decision. As a marketing manager, now I'm able to decide if I want this ambitious target, which I've never reached. Correct? When I never reached 30 lakhs, I think 3 million. It was all the maximum was before this 2.5 million. Today, if I want to keep this as an ambitious target for me, then I should be prepared to spend this kind of amount. See, you're taking a course of action, choosing a course of action. Okay. So I hope I was able to explain to you clearly the difference between descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. Okay, now very quickly, I won't take much time. Very quickly, let me go through a few more pointers here. Maybe, some jargon busters. I would like to put it that way only. Okay, I'm going to drop in a lot of jargon now for the next 2-3 slides, just to kind of fit those words into the context that we're discussing here. Okay. Meanwhile, Professor Shanti Iyer, whenever you want to conduct the poll, please do let me know. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want to go now?
Yeah, I will let you know, sir.
Okay, you let me know. Sure. So now, let's say there are what kind of tools are used in in data analytics. Okay. Now I'll tell you. I'll make it more comfortable. See, we saw dashboards. You remember dashboard I showed you? This is a dashboard. Example. This is a dashboard. So this is basically a visualization, right? You're visualizing something so that you can take a call. For example, if I click on furniture here, okay, I see, compared to previous year, my chairs sales have gone up by 13.9%. Table sales has gone up by 0.1%. Bookcases have gone up. So there is a lot of demands. Appears to be a lot of demand for these two products and not to these products. Tables, there is no demand at all. Either our tables are not good, or maybe, or even here also, you can see, let's say, for example, furniture sales are very, high in New York City, they've increased, whereas in Los Angeles there is a downfall. Philadelphia has been amazing, 159%, 52%. How it goes. So this is what is a dashboard for you. Okay, you saw that. What we also did is forecasting. Correct. One of the example I showed you now about forecasting the next course of action was forecasting. When we used the solver, what it did was optimization. We optimized the advertisement spending and the interest rate differential to arrive at a certain value. right? We used statistical methods when we calculated average, minimum, max, standard deviation, variance, etc. Okay, data visualization. What is data visualization? Presenting your data in graphs, presenting it in a pie chart, presenting it in a column graph, presenting in a world map graph. There's a world map graph also that you can create. So like this, you also have few other techniques also. For example, let me show you another demo of a data and text mining. Okay, now see, one of the project that I was part of was text analytics. It's called text analytics. I'm sure most of you would have heard of a cricket tournament that gets conducted every year in India. It's a very big affair in India called Indian Premier League. Okay, so there are a lot of our favorite players who are playing. So based on that, there was a business model that came up wherein there was an app, Dream 11 kind of an app, where all the people who download, they have to load, sorry, not load, guess or estimate, which player will score the maximum run. He will be my favorite. So basically, you make a team of your own. If your team, whoever have you selected, if they score well or do well in the real match, so your score will also go up. Accordingly, there were some rewards and all that. Very interesting idea, but very time-wasting idea. Let me put it that way. Okay, but those who enjoyed it, they enjoyed it. So one of the project that I was, part of, or I was trying to work on, was when there was a match that was going on. We wanted to understand which player is receiving the maximum attention, positive sentiment about him. Which player is receiving more. Okay. Now, how do you know how people...
Sorry to interrupt, sir. If you can stop sharing your screen, I will share another screen. Meanwhile, you can continue with your presentation. You may stop your...
To stop sharing. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
for some time. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Continue, sir. You may...
Shall I continue my example? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So in this example, I was telling you, in this project, one of the thing was we wanted to understand which player, which player has the most positive sentiment, that we wanted to understand. Okay, so we basically took the Twitter hashtags. The hashtag was hashtag Dream11, hashtag Dream11. Okay, so anybody who makes a tweet using the hashtag Dream11, that Twitter data could be collected. Correct. Now we took the data and we created something called a word cloud. Okay, something called a word cloud. So what is a word cloud? I will show you what is a word cloud. A word cloud is basically, you would have seen that. In fact, you saw that in my presentation also. There was there were some words which are shown big, some words which were shown small. That is basically a word cloud for you. Okay, so these word clouds were okay, so these word clouds will tell me which player is appearing most in most of the tweets. Okay, you with me? All right. Now, I'll show you an example. Madam, I think I need to share my screen again. Because I need to show them one text analytics project also. So if you're okay with that,
I will stop sharing.
And then I will give you, okay, permission. Okay, I hope all of you are looking at my screen now. Okay, now let me take you through a simple exercise. Again, I'm not here to scare you with all these big, tools and all that. That is not. Remember, I keep telling multiple times, I am just showing you what is data analytics. Okay, so now this is basically called a Python. Of course, I must be joking for many of you who already know all these things, but please think of the person who might not be from the programming background. So this is a Python, tool or a software. Okay, wherein I have written some codes here. Okay, a very simple code. And let me tell you one more thing. Okay, a simple trivia for most of you. This is a code that I've generated using ChatGPT. Okay, laugh at me if you want. This is a code I generated using ChatGPT. Okay, what are we doing here? We have installed something called a word cloud. It is like an app. Okay, I installed a word cloud app called Wikipedia Pillow. That means it will read the text from Wikipedia. Okay, then I ran some functions here. Let me run them now also. Okay, yeah, this red button should go. Okay, may take a second here. Please wait. Okay, done. Let me clear the output. Okay, now I will run this. Okay, I'll run this. This is basically I'm activating the packages. Okay, I'm activating the packages. You'll see the result. Okay, in a while. Wait. All right. Then I'm using something called stop words, which will remove all the words which are in like is, was, all those kind of words will go away. Now, let me put some word here. Okay, let me put some word here. Okay, Wikipedia.summary. Enter your search word here by deleting this. Yeah, sure. What do we search for? We will search for data analytics. Okay, data analytics. That is the word. Now I want this program to go to Wikipedia, get the paragraph that talks about data. I mean, give a summary of this thing and show me the output. Okay, let me run this. Let me run this. Now, okay, fine, great. So we have got a text output here. Correct. Now it's a paragraph which is taken from Wikipedia. Talks about data analytics, inspecting, cleansing, etc., 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 etc. Perfect. Now again, by looking at this, I don't know what is the most important thing that I should be focusing on. Okay, so let me generate a word cloud for that. Okay, I just ran this. Now I will post that in an image. I want to save it in an image and I want to show it to you. Now see, great. I've got the image here. I've got the image of the paragraph is now arranged in this image format. Okay, now see, this is also data analytics. Only thing is we call it text analytics. So what do you think is this telling me? It is telling me all the words that are appearing here. In fact, the size of the word represents how many times the word is appearing there. That means when we say data analytics, data analysis seems to be the keyword. Okay, or statistical, focuses, analytics, modeling, decision, cleansing, discovering. So it's trying to give me the sentiment around it, correct? Okay, if you want, you can try something else. Maybe I'll try, Indian cricket. Okay, I'm just typing because we were just discussing about that. Let me see. I have not tried this. Okay, it's a, very crazy thought. Okay, fine. Something has come up. Okay, let me run this. And see if I can get a word cloud for Indian cricket. Nice. See, what do you see? The word test, cricket, team, ICC appears more number of times. ICC is basically the governing body. Okay, ODI is a word. If you see, test is a bigger word than ODI. So India is probably known for test matches more than the ODI matches. Correct? So first is another big word. So probably Indian team is first in many this thing. And I see country name England. Okay, so probably India has played more with England than any other country, so on and so forth, right? So this is what I mean when I say text mining, text analytics. Again, I just showed you a very, very simple example. There are advanced tools where you can measure the sentiment. You would have heard of, political parties using social media posts about their party or the party leaders and understanding the sentiment around the person. The exit poll results that come with the political parties, they're basically using text mining, right? So social media and web and text analytics is also another tool. Okay, database queries and analysis. Simulation is basically creating experimental, you conducting 1,000 experiments to know, like for example, when a COVID vaccination was initially was being invented, right? So many vaccinations were failed, right? How? Because they tried it, they did a pilot test for a certain number of times. So what are they doing? They're trying to simulate a real world situation, trying to see if this particular a solution or a vaccination works or not. Simulation. What if analysis. What is what if analysis? Create scenarios and see what happens if this happens. Correct? What if analysis. Predictive models. Okay. So there are many tools like this. In fact, I'm not even getting into the machine learning zone here. If I go into machine learning, you have hundreds of different models in machine learning. That also you can use. All right. So these are the tools used in data analytics. And data, I think I explained enough about this to you. I've already shown you some data. Just few things that you need to understand is about the types of data. You have something called a primary data. You have something called a secondary data. A primary data is what you are collecting directly from the source. For example, right now, let's say I launch a survey and collected data from you. That is primary data. Secondary data is, let's say, a data which is already collected. For example, whichever country you belong, I'm sure the country's central authority would have already collected the data about the population demographics. Or let's say a stock market price data. These are all the data that is already available. Correct? So that is basically data for you. But whichever data you're working, one thing that you should understand is today the data analytics is so powerful because you have big data. Because you have big data. Let me tell you something wrong I did. Okay, I'll be very open to you with that. See, we built this model, right? We built this model. I very conveniently showed you all the applications. But you know what? This model is not correct because we are using only 18 observations. Using this, I'm trying to tell the whole model, which is not the correct approach. Your correct approach is you have to take a huge data set. Huge means, it should be, they say that it should be at least in this kind of a scenario, I would say at least there must be at least 200 to 250 months data should be available. If not month, maybe we could have taken 18 months data, days data we could have taken. Correct? So 18 months into, I don't know, 30 days per month. Okay, take that. So you need a large data set, then only the predictive power will be high. Okay, predictive power will be high. Okay, know that. So this data, when we talk about big data, the data should be voluminous. You should have enough data. Correct? You should have enough quantifiable data. More the data you give, the machine will find it more easier to understand the pattern. Correct? So that is one thing. Okay, you need to give as much data as possible. The variety of the data, you should give as many variables as possible. Velocity of the data. Veracity of the data. Velocity means at what speed you are able to get the data. How quick is the data that you are getting? How recent is your data? Correct? So it's always a trade-off between data we have and data we need. All right. So data plays a major role in here. And only if data is there, data analytics is there. Correct? And today, thanks to internet and thanks to advancements in technology, there is so much of data that we are able to generate. More the data we are generating, we are seeing more and more best use cases of data analytics. All right. And one of the challenge for you to deal with the data is the data preparation. Okay. None of the data that you get will be clean data. So yeah, sometimes you will get clean data, but a lot of time you'll get cluttered data. You'll also have garbage data. Okay, what is a garbage data? You have a lot of data coming to you, but most of them are useless. Okay, let me show you a cluttered garbage data. This is a garbage data. This is something about name, birthday, gender of probably some consumer, students, or sorry, I don't know, some teachers. Okay, why I call this as a garbage data? Because see, there are a lot of duplications. Correct? See, the uniqueness. See, this and this has the same. How can ID number be same? So probably there's a mistake, no, here. Okay, that means you have to clean that. Correct? That means this data is not clean. Similarly, you see the format. All the dates are mentioned in a certain format. In almost like DD, MM, YY. But this one is mentioned as YY, DD, MM, DD. Now see, the format is affecting. So this is one thing that I have to fill. So maybe, for example, here, if you see invalid value, gender can be M or F only. No, there is an A in between. Correct? Or maybe if you see this part, okay, attribute dependencies. Okay, so that means is he a teacher? 0. Okay, that means he's not a teacher. The number of students is given as 5. How? If he's not a teacher, the student also should be 0, no? Correct? So then there is something wrong in this capturing. Either this must have been 1 or this must have been 0. Okay. Similarly, misspelling. See, Italy is misspelled. Correct? Similarly, misfielded values. This is the city column. But you see Italy, country name here. Invalid values, I told you already. Missing values. There's some missing values here. Now, as a data analyst, I'll tell you, see the tools. In fact, whatever I worked so far, I showed you some examples, right? Thankfully, the data was already kept ready. If you think data analytics is as easy as I just opened Excel and did something, no. Okay, because this is analytics, yes. But to reach that stage, you should first collect the data. You should process the data, prepare the data. Now, that is a big headache. Okay, it is said that 90% of your time is spent on data preparation. Once you have a clean data, then only your analytics will start. And it takes only 10% of your effort. Okay, hope that point is also clearer to you. Okay, so garbage in, garbage out, right? You give good data, good insights will come. You give garbage data, garbage insights. Okay, so that is also another skill set for a data analyst. If any of you want to be a data analyst, one of the thing that you should develop is the pre-processing of the data. All right, so that is data preparation for you, madam.
Yeah,
you go ahead with the board.
Yes, very informative sessions, and
Thank you.
What our learners can expect more than this. It is, we are not feeling it as a webinar. It is a great class wherein all our participants are understanding and getting more queries about all this. Thank you so much for the session, sir. So participants, we are back with our poll number 3. So I hope you all are ready with the poll answers. So you can read out the question. Challenges in the data analytics. Only one choice you can select. Select data quality, data privacy, lack of data, lack of technical skills, lack of business understanding, data security. So challenges in data analytics is what the question. So as per your knowledge and understanding, we request you to do the poll so that we will come to know about your understanding about data analytics challenges. So please go ahead. We will keep the poll for open for 1 minute. So we have 1,200 participants. So I request all of you to vote here with your understanding, please. Challenges in data analytics can be, you have only one choice to select out of 7 options. Please go ahead. There are many queries coming in with about the technical parts and everything. So it is very informative session, sir. So we would like to thank you for the wonderful session.
Yes, ma'am.
So participants, please poll with your understanding challenges in data analytics. Soon we will be closing the poll and I will be announcing the poll results as per your voting. Challenges in data analytics. I'm sure each one of you will be polling the answers as per your understanding. So soon we will be closing the poll. Each one of your answer will be valued for us. Challenges in the data analytics. So here the poll results are there. So I would like to announce 34% people have selected data quality, and next major number what has come is lack of technical skills. So the first number selected by the participants are 34% data quality and 25% lack of technical skills. Rest of all the data privacy, lack of data, lack of business understanding, all these got 11, 10, 8 and 10%. So majority of people has polled 34% as data quality, and second option was 25%. Thank you so much for all the participants for actively participating in this session. I request all of you to be there till the end of the session. Then you will be emailed with your participation certificate in your registered email ID. Thank you so much. Sir, you may continue with the next.
Sure. So I may go ahead for another 15 minutes, okay, before we open up a Q&A. So just stay with me. And yeah, I do have some examples to show you also, more examples. So stay with me on this, okay? So one more thing, one more word I would say that you must understand about data analytics is, or rather data analysts will keep using is model building. Okay, model building. So what is this model building that they talk about? See, we actually built a model already. If you noticed it, okay, this is a model. This is a model, where I kind of came out with an equation where I said that, okay, if you spend 1 rupee extra on advertisement, your sales will go up by, or deposit will go by 107. Or if you give 1%, sorry, 0.01% extra interest, your deposits will go up by 25,000, right? Now, this is a model. This is a model. Okay, so what happens is you will give lot of this data. There are a lot of uncontrollable variables also will be given. We call it as noise. Then some decision variables will be given. So by giving all this data, you build a model. Okay, you build a decision model, which will be used as a measure of the performance of the behavior, the relationship. For example, here what it did is I built a model, right? Now, in fact, I can tell you whether this is a good model or not. Okay, I'll tell you. I will look at this particular number. Can you see some number called R squared here? Okay, now R squared, according to me, should have been more than 0.75. This is my threshold. So because it is not more than 0.75, this model is not powerful. It's not good. Okay, one more number that I will look at is these two. Okay, these two numbers you can see here. Okay, these two numbers must be less than 0.05. That is my threshold. Okay, I can see that they are less than 0.05. To an extent, I'm happy about this, but R squared is very less. So I think I want to revisit my model. I want to bring in more data. I want to bring in more variables, and I want to make this model even better. Correct? That means my predictive ability gets better. Okay. So that is what is model for. Okay, model for you. And now what we will do is for the next 10-15 minutes, I will go a little slower also. I will try to tell you how the data analytics is used. Okay, some basic quick examples using different data sets, different examples. Okay, so most of it I will use Excel because I think all of us comfortably can understand. Maybe one or two I'll also show using Python. Okay, so stay with me. Do not get confused here. I'm going to ask different questions and get different answers here. So my first case here on the screen is there is a company which has conducted a job satisfaction survey among its employees. Some 400 employees job satisfaction survey has been done. They want to understand, these are the questions that are being asked. What did I tell you about data analytics? Data analytics is about the questions that you're asking. Correct? What questions are you asking? So these are the questions that they're asking. Let us see. We will not go through each of them, but as many of them as possible, we'll try to answer. Okay, so basically the management has released a memo, okay, saying they want to get these questions very specifically answered. Okay, you can see. Can you please provide a summary report on the worker satisfaction at Superpart? Superpart is the company name. They want to know what is the worker satisfaction level. They want a report for us. So what we have done is basically we have conducted a survey. Okay, I'll show you the survey data. It's a very, very simple example. Okay, now see huge data as usual. Okay, data is there. How is this data collected? Basically, I have a questionnaire made here. Okay, what is the questionnaire that we are seeing? We are seeing that, what is your age? 1 second. You see a question called what is your age? Let me zoom it a little. What is your age? What is your gender, male or female? How many hours did you work last week? What is your occupation? Are you currently a member of a labor union or not? How many years of school, etc., etc. One important question is this one. Okay, the question number 12, where I'm asking, on the whole, how satisfied are you with your job? How satisfied are you with your job? Correct? We conducted this survey on how many employees? We surveyed on 400 employees. 400 employees have answered this survey, and we have a result like this. Okay, where is my job satisfaction question? It is here. See, each row is a employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4, etc. Now I see the job satisfaction here. Job satisfaction here. Can we see what is the report on job satisfaction? We want to understand, right? So what do we do is we will basically to avoid any confusion. Okay, I'll copy this in a new sheet. Okay, I copied this in a new sheet. We'll just do something called data transformation. We want to rename them. Okay, for example, let me copy this here. Okay, let me remove the duplicates and see how many. Okay, there are 4 categories that we have given. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take this very satisfied. Okay, and I will replace that with the number 4. I'll make it 4. Okay, 4 means highly satisfied. Replace all. So there are 185 people. Okay, next what I'll do is I'll take after very satisfied mod sat. So I'll change that into 3. Replace all. Done. Then I will take I changed here also. Okay, next I will take little dissatisfied. Okay, fine, let's take that and change it into 2. Replace all. Done. Next what we will do is we will take very dissatisfied. Okay, change that into 1. Replace all. Done. Perfect. Now I can do 2 kinds of analysis here. Okay, now what do I have now? Job satisfaction, 400 responses, each one has 1 2 3 4 etc. Now let me create a small table. Okay, let's say table 1 2 3 4. Okay, let us put count if in this range if you have 1, so it will count. There are 17 of them. Okay, so I got this. Maybe using this I can generate a graph. Okay, I can generate a line graph or something. Now see what you see here. Majority of the employees, okay, majority of the employees, I see that they are highly satisfied. Remember we gave 4 for highly satisfied. No, highly satisfied. There are some of them which are satisfied like this. If you, this is one data analytics. Okay, number 1, I can also do one more thing. Average satisfaction level. Average satisfaction level, worker satisfaction, average will calculate. Okay, so we'll say average of this. So 3.31. What is the score out of 4? So in my company, out of a level of 4 level of satisfaction, the average satisfaction level is 3.31. Okay, let us look at one more question. Is there any difference between the level of job satisfaction and union or non-union membership? I'm interested in those employees who say they are satisfied in some way or other with their jobs, union or non-union membership. So if you see, there is a question that we asked about whether you are a member of the union or not. Correct? See this one. I'll take this. Let us see. I'll copy that here. Let's see. So maybe we can no union. I'll replace them with maybe 0. Okay, I'll make it 0. Replace all. Okay, then I'll take the yes union, whatever response that you have got. See, I could have done this and shown you, but I wanted to show you data processing also a little bit, at a basic level. So now I have zeros and ones. Now let me say union member, non-union member. Okay. Now, when I'm calculating average satisfaction for him, what I'll do is let's say sum. Okay, one second. Let me just copy this and paste here. This will make sense. Okay, let's say I'll say we can do it like this. No, very simple. Why bother? We can take the, we can create a simple pivot table for this. Okay, that will help. Okay, yeah, this is easier. So let me take the union membership here. Okay, take the job satisfaction. Done, job done. See, I want average, right? See, there are totally 1,107 people who are members of, union. There are 270. This is the sum. Now I want the average. See, if you are a non-union member, your satisfaction level is 3.34 out of 4. If you are a union member, then your satisfaction, oh, sorry, one is, union. If you're a union member, your satisfaction is lesser. Okay. I don't know what is the logic here, but that's what the data is telling me. That means what? You being a union member, you have a little lesser satisfaction, job satisfaction compared to a non-union member. See, an insight you're getting, right? Okay, then you can only call the union members and try to find out what is the problem, where are you not satisfied, what can we do to satisfy, and the business will take over. Correct? Hope you're following this, right? That was one example I just thought I'll discuss with you. This we can skip or come back to that later. Let's say here, A company wants to optimize its logistic cost for transporting the goods. Yeah, this is something interesting. Takes 2 minutes for me. Okay, just stay with me on this. Now, this is a production and logistics situation of a business where if you see the goods have to be transported from warehouse to the distribution center. Okay, now you see they have stores in these places. Okay, Denver, Houston, Atlanta, and all. These are the stores you have, and there are three warehouses. Now, if you send one unit of your goods from Los Angeles warehouse to Denver, shop, it is going to cost you $58. From St. Louis, if you send, $47. From Boston, if you send, it is going to be $108. That means three warehouses, different stores. The cost of transportation is given to you per unit. Now we have some problem here. The problem is, these stores require these many number of units, 150, 150, 225, etc. Now, for example, Denver needs 150 units. Now, where are we going to send it from? Okay, for Denver, if I look at this chart, I think St. Louis makes more sense. Okay, $47 is the cheapest. So should we send all 150 from St. Louis itself? Looks like it. Okay, but if you send that, St. Louis totally has only 150. It has only 150 total. That means St. Louis will only serve Denver. Okay, but St. Louis seems to be cheaper for Atlanta also. So if you send it to Denver, you cannot send it to Atlanta. You see, Atlanta needs 102. So that means there is some mixture. Right now I just put a dummy number 25 each, but there is some mixture, some number I should put in here such that will tell me how many units must be sent from LA to Denver, St. Louis to Denver, Boston to Denver, etc., etc. I want to put in those numbers in such a way that my total cost is minimized. This total cost is calculated how? We have calculated that as 25. If you send from LA to Denver, it's going to cost you 58 into 25, 25 into 87, 25 into 121, etc. So whatever number comes here, it will get multiplied with this, and then you have the total cost. Cost of each warehouse, and then the total warehouse. So this is the model that I have built. This is the model that I have built. What am I going to do now? I'm going to use solver. Okay, I'm going to use solver. Let's say solver. I've already loaded to save time. Okay, we're running out of time. I've already loaded this. I'm not reviewing. What am I saying? I'm saying minimize this particular cell. That is my objective. I want to minimize the objective cell by changing the variable cells. Which cells? These cells. D12 to F17. These are the cells I want Excel to fill in the data in such a way that I will get lowest cost here. Plus, I'm also giving some inputs, constraints. What am I giving as a constraint? I'm telling C12, that is this cell, 150, should be equal to this cell. That means, see, what does this say? Number to be shipped is 150, number needed 150. That means these should match, no? Right now, see, you are shipping only 75, but they need 150. Correct? You're shipping 75, they need 225. I want to solve this, wherein this column will have the same number as this. Okay, so secondly, I'm also telling these numbers cannot be negative. Okay, they should be more than 0. So let me see if the Excel can help me finding the right solution. Perfect. See, now I have a problem. Problem is solved. What does it tell me? It tells me that, for Denver, you should get it from LA. For Denver, get it from LA. For St. Louis, you should get it, from Houston, you should get your 225 from St. Louis. Atlanta, you should get from St. Louis. Miami, you should get 225 from Boston, 25 from St. Louis. You got it? So therefore, you will achieve a cost of 55,515. That is the lowest cost that you can achieve. No other combination can tell you, matching this with this and also achieving the lowest cost. This is the optimum solution that you can reach. Okay? Yeah, that was fun. Let me just go through one last example for you today. Okay, madam, just give me 3 or 4 more minutes. Okay, I just want to explain one more thing and then I will wind up the session. So here, here I'm talking about a company which is basically NBFC, means non-banking finance corporation. They want to come out with a data analytical model which will help them to approve the loans that they give. Let's say when a customer applies for a loan, I want to know whether this customer loan can be given or not. So for that, what is the variable that they need to know? They need to know what is the probability that he will default. What is the probability that he will default? Correct now? So for that, what they've done is, I will show you the data first. Okay, I'll show you the data first. Give it a minute. It's a huge data that I have collected. Okay. Then data dictionary, I think. One second, please. I got it. So what this NBFC, this is a real data, by the way, real data of a company. So what they have done is they have collected the data of their customers. Okay, it's, I think the number of customers data that they've collected is almost 150,000 customers data is there. The loan customers data. Loan as in the credit card customers, credit card kind of a loan. So this is a variable which says, see, that means the customer has not paid beyond the 90 days of his due date. Let's say your due date was 1st March, till 31st March, you've not paid. That is, you are a defaulter. So I have a yes or no here, and so on and so forth. You know, your monthly income, your monthly debt payments, your age, what is your credit limit, how many times you borrowed, how many times you paid beyond 30 days, beyond 60 days, beyond 90 days, number of dependents, number of loans you have. So many data has been collected. How? Like collected like this. Correct. Now, this data I'm going to analyze. This data I'm going to analyze using Python. Okay. I've already run the program and it's a very lengthy program. Let me tell you, I'm not going to take you through that. Okay. That is not the agenda here. But as I told you, I believe in showing what I'm teaching. Okay. Then only you will understand. Remember the tiger example I told. So I have run this. Okay. Something I've written. Okay. This is done by me, not ChatGPT. Okay. So we have done this, we have done some analysis, etc. I want to show you final what I've achieved. See, I came out with a model. Okay. I came out with a model where the model, that is the prediction model I created, was able to, I've basically done a testing. Now what you see is the result of a test I've done, wherein, let's say there have been 41,377 customers. Okay. Out of this total number, 41,377 customers who were non-defaulters, and my model predicted that they're non-defaulters. So remember, we must be interested in this. Okay. Similarly, this 141 you see, what is this number? There were 141 defaulters in the actual data. My model, what I used a model called logistic regression model, also told me that 141 customers are, that means what? I tested the model. You know, imagine a machine, okay, machine like a baby. I'm testing the baby. You know what? I showed you apple. Okay, you detected, can you tell me what is this apple? I kind of taught you what is an apple. Now I'm showing you an apple. Can you tell me whether it is apple or not? So 141 of the predictions, it did correctly. Correct. So that is basically, I achieved almost a 93% accuracy in this model. That means next time when you give me a customer loan transaction data, I will be able to predict it correctly 93% of the time. That means my model is giving me a power to predict the probability of the default of a new customer. Correct. This is the next stage of analytics. In fact, this is a machine learning program. Okay, so that is basically, you know, what I wanted to disclose with you. I'm sorry about the last 15 minutes. I kind of, you know, went a little faster. Okay, I hope you do understand. We want to stick to the timelines, allow you to ask questions also. So I will stop here. Okay, and request Dr. Shanti Iyer to take it over, please.
Thank you so much for the insightful session, sir. I really appreciate your technical knowledge shared with our learners. I'm sure all our learners are into a next level of data analytics now. There is no doubt in it. So I will continue with this. Before that, we move on to the fourth poll, that is the last poll in this session. So as soon as you get, like, how extensively does your organization currently use data to drive business decisions. So this is the fourth poll. I request all the participants to enter this poll and give us your valuable understanding about the topic. How extensively does your organization currently use data to drive business decisions? So most of our learners are, you must be knowing, are working professionals in higher levels or many different levels.
Sorry, you said something last 20 seconds. I lost you. Can you repeat, please?
I'll repeat. I would like to inform you, like all our learners are working professionals, and yes. Many of them are in higher positions, and all level. Everyone will be benefited with this. So we will just. I'm sure. Yeah, we will just get the poll answers. How extensively does your organization currently use data to drive business decisions? So after getting the results of this poll, we will move on to the next part of this webinar. Thank you all the participants for being with us till the end, and we will be taking 10 more minutes of yours to conclude. So I'm sure all of you are attending the poll, and I'm waiting for the results. How extensively does your organization currently use data to drive business decisions? I'm sure you all are entering your answers. Soon we will be closing the poll. We are giving enough time for all of you to attempt it. So here we are with the results. 62% people are moderately using their analytics in business decisions, and minimally 30% people are using, and 7% people are saying not at all using it. So we have moderately using people 62%. That's the result from our participants. So that is a great session that we all enjoyed it. And I need to say, you have given extensively the knowledge about Python, predicting models, data analytics in action session was wonderful. And you had given a very practical session to all of us using Solver and everything. So before further delaying, I would go to our small introduction about UniAthena. Then later on, we will come back to Q&A session, sir. If you can close your screen.
Sure.
So I hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am, I can see.
We all are attending the session of webinar UniAthena, and we are a part of Westford Education Group, and we are proud partners with more than 10 universities. We are giving professional qualification to our learners, and we have 225,000 plus learners, and 212 plus countries are availing these facilities, and 400. We have more than 400 pros, and I think this data is little old, and I'm sure we are covering more than number of courses over here. And all of our courses are affordable, flexible, and accessible in the sense around the world, wherever you are sitting from your laptop, you will be able to access our courses. And it is very much flexible in the sense each module can be completed in 21 days plus, and some of the courses will be able to complete in 1 month. Maximum, some of the courses are available with 2 months course. That is, each module will be having 2 months flexibility in which you will be able to complete. And the course fees are also affordable because some of the courses are monthly payment wise, some of the courses are course module wise payments. So all the details are available in our websites. So now I will be explaining about the partners. You can see there are many options given. And majorly, we are partnered with UCAM University, Aberte University, GMU, SQA, and so on. So all the details are provided in our websites. And above that, we are conducting different levels of courses. You can start off with short courses, which you will be able to learn freely from our websites. If you want certificates, only then you need to pay. Otherwise, learning is always free for the short courses. And we have basic courses, diploma courses, we have postgraduate diploma courses, and we have MBA or master degree level courses. Also, we conduct doctorate courses. So all the details are given in our website. I do visit our website, www.uniathena.com. As I mentioned already, the payment is very much flexible and 100% online. All our tutorials are according to your feasibility of time. You will be able to attend your video tutorials, and there will be self-paced as per your time duration. You will be able to access it, and there is no restriction of attending any particular classes. And we have globally accredited certificates provided, and there is an advantage of personal tutor. They will be always helping you with your sessions assignments. As such, we will not be conducting any examinations. So these are the thing that I want to explain about. So now we can start with Q&A session, sir. Many of the questions in the beginning, what I received, all of them you have already answered. Perfect. And many of the questions that came in the chat box also already answered. So okay. I have listed out only few questions, sure. Very interesting for everyone. Yes, Kiran sir, yeah. So
you will read the questions?
Yeah, I will read the question for you.
Sure, I'll wait for you.
One question I filtered out is, what are the different career paths available to data analytics?
If you can answer. What are the different paths available for, okay. See, firstly, I think the answer is straight, data analyst. Okay. Because that itself is becoming a career on its own. Okay. Where you are not associated with any industry. You are part of a company which is into data analytics, which it's almost like saying I'm a software programmer. So any IT company will hire you and put you as a programmer or a developer. In addition to that, in every industry, I would almost say every company also, there will be, like how today we have marketing department, finance department, HR department, systems department. The recent trend is that data management, data analysis team also, in-house data analysis teams are also coming up in each of the companies, especially the big ones, bigger companies. They are investing. They've realized the need for a data, handling data analysis team. So that is how you can also look at career in almost every industry. So I saw some message where somebody talked about aerospace industry. Yeah, aerospace industry. In fact, one of my student, he joined this Vistara Airlines. Vistara is one of the India's airlines. So he joined, and on a daily basis, he's almost on WhatsApp, he's talking to me. I also keep asking what all the projects that you keep doing. So basically what he's doing is he is planning that, the seating arrangements, he is coming out with different prices. Almost every 2-3 minutes, he comes out with a price change for almost each of the flight. Okay. So these kind of, work that he's doing. Now Vistara has employed him in the company. Now, other than that, Vistara also takes data analyst experts from outside also. Correct. So that way. Okay. So I think
that is a wonderful answer. Yeah. So next question I would take, also I found very interesting. How can I stay up to date on the latest trends in data analytics?
Yeah, you have to be associated with training institutes like UniAthena, for example. These kind of webinars are the ones, which is the easier access to you to access the data. Other than that, if you ask, people in the field like me, for example, how do I get updated myself? Because we have a network already created, right? So network, there are a lot of the journals that keep coming to us. We read research papers, right? So at a professional level, once you become professional, the latest, things, it will come your way. I'm sure you're all working in some industry. If I ask you, how do you get to know about what are the trends in your industry? You know how it comes to you. But as an outsider, I've never been in data analytics and I want to know. Then I think the way for you is through these kind of webinars, attending lectures, attending speeches, and if you're very serious, do attend conferences also. There are a lot of conferences being conducted. Of course, whichever country you're from, I'm sure there are academic institutions which are conducting conferences. Do attend. I think that's what, is my quick answer to you.
Yeah. That is a very quick answer, very informative. How can one improve sales using data analytics? So maybe somewhere you must have already answered this.
Answered it. I'll just very quickly tell you just two things. Forecasting of sales. Okay, you're able to forecast your sales. Secondly, you saw how you can change some variables and decide how much sales you want to achieve. We saw that in the bank example in what we discussed today, right? So how much advertisement should I do such that I can achieve this sales? Correct? So I think these are the two things, forecasting the sales and planning your advertisements, digital marketing budget to achieve a certain sales. I think that is where I see.
So thank you so much for quickly answering all those questions. I could just take some general questions because many questions I could see that we already answered during the session. And one interesting thing what I found some messages when will be your next session on data analytics, because it was very very informative and very technical for people who are interested with technical knowledge. So that was,
next we will do. There will be a lot of webinars like this that will come in way. We will make it like a series or a sequence. That is the best thing. Now, from here, we will. What is the next stage? Do you think we will take? We'll take one webinar on descriptive data analytics, and we'll work on that. Right. So step by step, we have to learn. Yeah? Let's see. Plus, of course, there are programs available with UniAthena. You can probably that has even better projects also for you to hands-on try. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your entire presentation and the answers that you have quickly provided for our learners. So let's meet in the next webinar. Thank you so much for your
thank you all of you. Amazing. All the best to all of you, and thanks UniAthena for inviting me. I would have missed a lot if I had not been part of this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.